Alright guys, keep it going for Sarah. Up next we have Ythan Lax. Ythan Lax. Great time.
Hey, good evening, everybody. You remember when Sarah just said after we had Frank jokes it's going to get a lot worse? I am your token Jewish comedian of the evening. How about that? Are there any other Jews in the room? I didn't think so. You know what? That is because I'm not Brighton anymore. You're laughing. You see, for those of you who don't know what Brighton is what you call a gated Jewish community that was actually not dated for us by someone else. I had a friend who's converting to Judaism, and he asked me a little bit about what's involved, and then I brought up, of course, the big part, which is the circumcision. And he asked me, does it hurt? I said, well, let me put it to you this way. After I had mine done, I didn't walk for a whole year. Do you know that Jewish men are actually the most confident men in the world? You bet we are. We cut off a piece before I have any idea how big it's going to get. Oh, I wasn't going to do this bit, but I mean, since she got me going, I'm going to get my equal time, is that how that's called? Oh my goodness, guilt, Jewish guilt. You've all heard of it, right? Any Catholics in the audience? Give it up. Any Catholics? You guys think you know guilt? Oh no, you don't. You think you don't? Catholic guilt is learned at a very, very young age. You see, Jewish guilt is issued at birth. It starts the very first time that your mother holds you. She makes you look down and she says, will you look at what you just did to your mother? And it doesn't end. My mother's 86 years old and she's still telling me, making me feel guilty, everything. She says, you know what? You don't come and visit me anymore. You know why you don't visit me? It's because you're gambling, drinking, and womanizing. I said, that is ridiculous. I do not gamble. For those who didn't catch my name is Ythan Lax. That is a very simple last name, L-A-X, right? Does anybody know the three-letter code for Los Angeles Airport? L-A-X, that's right. I've never been there, but 17 pieces of my luggage have been circulating around their baggage carousel for the last 20 years. Nobody ever picks them up. They're going around and around. Yeah. But I'm getting the last laugh on my name right now because I am getting divorced, and that makes my wife an X-Lax. Oh, you know it. I'll tell you what, when my wife and I called it quits, it's long overdue. You'd be happy for me. I'm feeling pretty good. Not that I don't feel great for Mark having his first child, which is great news as well. Different points in your life, different times. I'm back out dating again. I am, and I said, now that I'm dating, I really wanted to think about what type of women I'm looking for. What type of women appeal to me? And I thought, I really like Asian women, but I didn't know where to find them. And then it hit me. I just stopped biting my fingernails. And then this one woman, she calls herself a penis namer. Anybody ever name penises? You wouldn't admit it if you did.
Oh, I did too.
You did? I knew you did. But if I asked you a direct question, you give me a direct answer, right? Let's say, this woman, she was great. She says that I dated this white guy, and I nicknamed him Robert Frommert. And I dated this black guy, and I nicknamed him Otis Deep Throatus. And I told her, I'm Jewish, what are you going to nickname me? And she said, Rumple Foreskin. Oh my goodness, when things started to break down with my wife, she started to say some really unusual things. It was 3 years, I think, somewhere around there since we'd been intimate. And she said, do you know what's important in a successful marriage? What's important is being monogamous. I'm like, monogamous? I'm willing to be monogamous. I just wanted you to be a little bit gamus. I mean, I was starting to think S&M meant sleeping and masturbation. I started doing stand-up comedy originally as an excuse to get out of the house. I really did. She said, what's the matter with you? She said, that's all you talk about today, stand-up comedy, that's all you're doing. I said, look, I'm in my 40s, I'm going through a midlife crisis. You got a choice, okay? I can either go out and buy a Porsche that we can't afford, I can sleep with some 20-year-old whore, or I can stand on the stage and tell a few jokes. She says, well, since you put it that way, how often would I get to drive that Porsche? I told her when the whore and I are done with it. Logical answer to me. Who's on Facebook? Everybody's on Facebook, right? Lots of great stuff I get then from friends that they post these weird stories from around the world, and they make for great comedy, they really do. In Switzerland, prostitution is now illegal. You want to give it up for that? I don't know, you can, I guess. Nobody's really excited. My plane leaves in about 2 hours, but in Switzerland it's now legal, and the people who get licensed to do the job, they're called sex workers. Nice term, I think, sex workers. Now, you don't even have to go to a hotel room anymore. They've made it real easy. They've got these things without roofs that look like porta potties on the street. You swipe a credit card, you put in an amount of time. They're called sex boxes. I really have to go to Switzerland for a sex box? Every woman in America's got one. So, the first thing you're supposed to do is negotiate your services with a sex worker. Now, how does that work? A woman says, I don't do anything with my mouth. Isn't that kind of like a plumber that doesn't fix toilets? So you rent the sex box, and the guy starts to, swipe your credit card and thinks about this. And he goes, what's the advantage of the sex box over a hotel room? He said, well, hotel room is wide. Sex box is nice and tight. There's no roof, so you get it wet. All sorts of great advantages to the sex box. So if you're anybody looking for that type of service, Switzerland is the place to go these days. Oh my goodness! So before I leave you tonight, I think I would want to let you know that now that I'm back on the dating scene, I'm a man in my 40s. Things are different now. It's not like it was in the 20s when I was in my 20s, and I've got to learn some different things about being out there, and I have. And I think I want to share with anybody who's back on the dating scene what I call the man's 4 rules for dating. Okay? Rule number 1: get in shape. Now, you don't have to have a perfect 6-pack of abs like me, all right? But at least lose a little weight. I lost 190 pounds. Yeah, thank you. 40 of my own, 150 of my ex-wife. Rule number 2: if you're like me and you already have your kids and you're not planning on having more, get a vasectomy. Usually the women applaud. You're just nodding. You're nodding. Look, because look, we all want to be safe today. We know what's out there, but a thin layer of latex is the only thing that's stopping you from being next week's guest on the Lauren Poland show. Rule number 3: manscaping. Okay? You know what I'm talking about, ladies? She's nodding. She knows what I'm talking about. Now, you don't have to be crazy about it. All right, look at me. Women, they like this stuff up here. Okay, nice and soft. Put your hand on it. But from here down, guys, you think about it. Do you really like eating and flossing at the same time? And 4th, and most important of all, get a puppy. Women love puppies, am I right? You bet, especially small little dogs. Now, I didn't know a lot about dogs. I've not, had a lot in my life. I did have a dog once before, but I found this small little white dog. He was really, really cute. And I don't speak any French. I'm a pretty simple guy. And the French spelling of the breed name, maybe you know it, Bichonfrise. Bitch and fries. Right? So I'm walking down the street. The dog with me, and this woman goes, oh, he's so cute. What kind of dog is that? And I said, he's a bitch and fries. A bitch and fries? She goes, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I said, that is not ridiculous. If I am eating some bitch, there's a good chance I might want some fries with that. She says, oh, so what is that supposed to be, a dirty old man joke or a cannibal joke? I said, of course it's a dirty old man joke. If it was a cannibal joke, I would have eaten that bitch with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Oh, come on. It's a Silence of the Lambs joke, for heaven's sakes. How many Hannibal Lecter jokes do you get out here? You know what I do when I have to end my act and nobody's laughing anymore? I go for the cheap laugh. I go with pot jokes. Because everybody likes pot, and everybody likes pot jokes, right? Thank you. One. I'll see you outside. We'll talk later, okay? I have to warn you before I tell these jokes, okay? Because pot jokes can often be gateway comedy that leads to harder humor. But the big news in marijuana today is out west, it's legal just about everywhere. You can get anything you want. Anything. Baked goods, And I'm not just talking about the staff. They're mixing different hybrids, different strains of marijuana. They took this Jamaican breed and this Thai breed, and they blended them together. I mean, it was nice, but I'd rather find a chick with that mix. The best product they have, however, if you really want to get high in a hurry, it's a 12-ounce soft drink, and it packs the power of 8 joints. They called it Blitz. You guys have a good name for it? Blitz? I got a better name. Mountain Dew. I'll leave you with that one. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks a lot. And thanks over to you again. Hopefully, take care.
All right, everybody, Ythan Lex. So it is zone night here, and I am a DJ in the zone. Does anybody here actually listen to the zone? Alright, just look at the crowd. You didn't seem like, you know, like they're like, yeah, puddle of mud. You know, didn't seem like that kind of crowd. I bring it up because I do a stupid bit. That's all radio, stupid bits, where I read like that. My wife's crazy, and I read like text from her, like horrible text from her, and I read one once where she texted me because we had the baby, you know.